30 Facts of Capitalism in the Great Depression. Capitalism is driven by supply and demand. If one factor is damaged, so will the other. The Great Depression was caused by a stop in demand. The neglect of the economy during the 1920s caused many people to go poor, and when the stock market crashed, everyone was poor. Without demand, supply became useless, and people lost jobs. Herbert Hoover did little to help the people during the time, and it was left to the hands of local government. Food drives weren't enough to save everyone. It was up to Roosevelt to do that. The Roaring Twenties. The Roaring Twenties was a large economic growth during the 1920s. Lots of failures also occurred and resulted with the Great Depression. Lots of people didn't know the problems of the economy at the time. They just tried to make money. Number 1. To many, the 1920s seemed like a never-ending party, but underneath this prosperity lacked serious economic problems. Lots of people didn't know the problems of the economy at the time and just tried to make money. Number 2. By 1924, 200 large companies combined was nearly half of all industry. This is also a problem because it challenged other companies' growth and also gave bigger companies complete control of prices. Number 3. People normally bought stuff on credit. This put everybody in debt, and manufacturers didn't make money right away. Number 4. By 1925, there were $5 billion worth of bank loans. With everybody in debt, it put banks under stress and sometimes caused them to close. Number 5. Distribution of wealth was uneven. Many people stayed rich and poor people stayed poor. This was a problem because money stayed with only the rich, and poor people didn't have much of a chance to make money. 80% of Americans had no savings. This is a bad problem because without savings, people had to borrow money when they needed it. Number 7. Speculators drove up the stock prices beyond the real value of actual stocks. With stock prices being higher than the actual value of products, it became incredibly risky to spend money in the stock market. Prices could fluctuate very easily. Number 8. On October 24th, 1929, people sold lots of stocks for cheap. This was an issue because lots of people lost lots of money. Luckily, bankers stepped in and invested tons of money to stabilize the economy for the day. And then the stock market crashed. People sold stocks for cheap and didn't ever buy any. Black Thursday. About 3 million stocks changed hands in the first 30 minutes. This is bad because people are getting rid of stocks and they aren't likely, and they're selling them for a lower price than they bought them for. Number 10. On October 29th, 1929, the market crashed again, marking the unofficial start of the Great Depression. The Great Depression officially started on September 4th, 1929. Number 11. People resorted to other money-making ways such as bank robberies. If only banks had money to steal, but people did resort to illegal things to make money. Number 12. Hoover denied that there was a problem, and quoted many times, "The nation was turning the corner." Hoover denied the issue because he was tied with companies, and they didn't want him helping people. Number 13. Hoover refused to consider financial relief for individuals. Hoover again denied relief because he felt it was the local government's issue and he was still tied to big companies. Number 14. To stop the bonus bill protest, Hoover sent police, whom burned down the protesters' camp and attacked them. The bonus bill was a bill that gave veterans money. Hoover attacked them even though they were being peaceful. Number 15. On February 14, 1933, a bank panic led many banks to take vacation to stop people from withdrawing. The banks closed, but they said it was on vacation because they would reopen once people stopped freaking out and withdrawing. Number 16. Herbert Hoover was blamed for lots, and hobo neighborhoods were named Hooverville after him. Hoover was put in front of lots of poor people's things to push the fact that it was his fault they were poor. Number 17. Hoover lost the election by a lot. Hoover lost the election to Roosevelt by a lot because people really didn't like what he did. Number 18. Police shoot 10 strikers and wound 100 in Chicago's Memorial Day Massacre, 1937. Even though strikes are good for people, it's not good when police can't be controlled and shoot people. Number 19. Droughts and dust storms in 1933 through 1935 caused crop failures, leaving many farmers out of work. Some natural causes also hurt people, especially in the Dust Bowl, which put many out of work. The Dust Bowl nearly cost 3.5 million people their jobs, and they had to move. Many refugees from the Dust Bowl moved to other states in search of jobs. These people are known as Okies because they were mostly from Oklahoma. Number 22. Losses reached $25 million per day by 1936, equivalent to $430 million in 2016. This is a lot of money to lose daily, and it made people who are already struggling lose more. Fixing the problem. Huge vicinity project. Whitmock asked regional jobs to keep 1,085 people busy for a year. The new projects allow for more people to have more work and make money, which everybody needs badly. Number 26. Annual fund drive officially open. A title for an article that shows that fund drives were a thing and it helped people make money. Number 27. Washington, September 26. An agreement to end the nationwide soft coal strike next Tuesday, October 1st, was reached tonight between producers and miners. Strikes that were resolved gave workers better wages, hours, and safety. Number 28. Slum bill is rejected as body stalls on relief proposal. The slum bill was a bill to get people out of slums. Number 29. Workers at the GM plant in Flint, Michigan began a sit-down strike that leads to a union contract. The strike was able to form a union contract and benefits all workers greatly. When World War II started, almost everybody had work again, either by being drafted or working 7-day weeks in war factories. People had money from work and could buy stuff again. World War II basically boosted America out of the Great Depression because it gave people work. In conclusion, the Great Depression hurt everyone. It affected the poor just as much as the rich company owner. Luckily, the government was able to pull America out of the period. Then, for a bonus, World War II added new demand on war stuff, giving almost everyone jobs again. And with everyone making money, they had more of a demand, which led to more supply, more demand, more supply. The relationship of supply and demand was fixed.